Today I'll show you how to make any syrup for drinks. Hi guys, my name is Istis from Miami to the world. Welcome to my channel. Today I'll show you how you can make any syrup for your cocktails or for your other drinks. You can do it at home or you can do it in your bar. It depends if you are a home bartender or if you bartender somewhere and you want to improve your skills. So today we are going to deconstruct syrups and I will explain you how to make any syrup. It's very easy. Making syrups is not difficult, and actually there are plenty of syrups of different brands on the market. It depends where you live. If you look on the internet, you probably would find many brands, different hundreds of syrups. Like I used to work with Monin some time ago, so I know that they have more than 100 syrups in their range. Any exotic and tropic and interesting syrups. So I'm not saying that you should do your own syrups all the time, but if you want to know, if you are like me and if you want to deconstruct everything and you want to know how everything is made and how to make your own, so this video will definitely help you to do that. But as I'm saying, it depends on circumstances. Sometimes it's better to buy syrup, sometimes it's better to make your own. For example, by buying syrup for some brand in the shop, you always can be sure that your quality will be the same, because they are making syrups exactly the same. And when we make syrups at home, it depends. Sometimes we get one berries, sometimes we get one herb, sometimes we use one fruit, sometimes another. The taste is a bit different, and of course you can make it very similar, one to each batch, similar to each other, but I mean it's not going to be exactly the same as it's with the brands that are on the market. Another reason not to make a syrup at home is maybe you live in the area where you can't get all the exotic fruits or herbs or some other things, and so that means you have to order or you have to go through like mountains just to get some ingredient for your syrup, and it's too difficult, too expensive, and technically it's not worth you doing that. So then it's probably much easier to buy the syrup that's already made there, and you don't need to go through all that hell by making the syrup. So even it sounds very romantic to creating craft syrups, craft ingredients at home or in your bar, and it really is. It's fun. I made hundreds of different syrups through my life and it's fun for me. I like to do them, but I understand that making everything on your own is not the solution. But this video is for those who are really much more into craft, into deconstructing, and know how things work and how things are done. So I'll explain you how you can make any syrup. And what is a syrup? Syrup is a sweet substance that has some particular flavor of some ingredient like fruit, berry, herb, or some other thing. And some regulations in some different countries might be different what you can call syrup. I don't know that for sure, but as I heard, like for example in France, to call something a syrup, that fruit syrup, let's say, it has to contain a certain percentage of juice inside, otherwise you can't call it like strawberry syrup, let's say, if it doesn't have a certain amount of fresh strawberry juice inside it. But it could differ country to country, and the method could be different. How to make syrup? How to make syrup at home, I'll show you. It's always made from fresh ingredients, and manufacturers can do it in different ways. I don't know all the ways of how they can do that. Of course they can do it in the way I will show you. So what I'll show you will be the best version, I guess, but the worst version is then strawberry syrup doesn't contain any strawberries, or raspberry syrup doesn't contain any raspberries, because everything is made with food flavorings and food coloring. So technically you are getting color, you are getting the flavor, but you are not having the actual fruit or that ingredient into your drink, into a syrup, and that transforms to a drink. I don't like that kind of syrups. I like syrups that are more natural. I like syrups that has real ingredient inside it. That's why I like to make my own, but as I said, sometimes it's better to buy or to get it from the market. But let's talk about how to make syrup in homemade, in craft, in real way. Any syrup, and I'm talking about one flavor syrup, contains of 3 ingredients, or some of the syrups can even contain of just 2 ingredients. So those ingredients are sugar, water, and ingredient. Ingredient might be different, we will see. And as I say, some of them can have only 2 ingredients. For example, like if you are juicing some fruits, like making a grenadine, and I made a video especially on grenadine recently, you can check the link here. So you don't need to add water at all because it's already very juicy, it already has a lot of juice, and adding water will reduce its flavor in the final product. So you just need to use a fruit juice and a sugar. So it's 2 or 3 ingredients. Syrups can be made from many different ingredients. To categorize those ingredients, we just can make categories like fruits syrups, berry syrups, herbs syrups, milk syrup like hazelnut milk or almond milk or coconut milk syrup. And I just make a coconut syrup recently as well, you can check the link here. Also you can make syrup from ingredients like popcorn, and I did that syrup like 1 month ago as well, you can check the link here, or some other crazy thing. But the main ingredients are herbs, fruits and berries. Also didn't mention vegetables. Of course you can make vegetable syrup, definitely. So you see, there is plenty of ingredients to work with, and it's plenty of ways to make your different syrups for your home or for a real bar. And you can find a lot of syrups already made on my channel. Just check my channel, feel free to explore, you will find syrups there. And in the future I'll do some more complicated syrups like Palermo or some other syrups separately. But this video I wanted to make about all syrups in general, just to explain you what a syrup is and how easy it is to make it. As I mentioned before, it's 2 or 3 ingredients depending on what do we have. And today I'll be showing you how to make 2 different syrups. Different I'm saying because it's 2 different categories of ingredients. One of them will be berries. I have raspberries. Raspberry syrup is quite essential in bartending. And I have rosemary. Rosemary is a herb. Rosemary syrup is not so essential in bartending, but you can really make nice cocktails, or you can really add a nice note of flavor in your cocktails by putting a bit of rosemary syrup. Let's get to making this syrup, so you will get an idea. Even if you check my previous videos, you will already get an idea. And both of our syrups today is going to consist of 3 ingredients. It's water, sugar and ingredient. I'm not going to make one with just juice and sugar. It's grenadine, for example, and you can check it on the link I showed before, so it's no problem. But I just want to show you the idea in general. So the first one is raspberry syrup. When you have berries, you just take berries, you put them in some pot and muddle them to extract all the flavors. It's very easy. And you can even make a syrup from, let's say, raspberry leaves, not berries but leaves. So making from leaves or some other berry or some other plant leaves, but just have in mind that making it from a leaf, it would be the same as making it with a herb. So basically you will be making a strong tea, and then you'll be adding sugar. It's the same, we could say we are making a raspberry tea and adding sugar. So syrup is basically a strong tea with a lot of sugar inside it. Raspberries are very easy to muddle, so they are all muddled now. Very easy. Now I'll be adding sugar. You shouldn't put too much or too less sugar, because if you put too much sugar, then the syrup will be too sweet, and sweetness will be killing the berry, and sweetness will be killing your cocktail. And you shouldn't put too little, because then you will have to put a lot of ingredient, and the flavor of the ingredient might overkill your cocktail until you're trying to reach that level of sweetness. Or you will have to add a sugar syrup as well, but the idea of syrup is to use a syrup as a flavoring and as a sweetening ingredient in your cocktail. So here was 6 ounces of raspberries, and I'll be using 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water. For this amount, 1 cup of sugar, it shouldn't be too much. 1 cup of water, it's 1-to-1 ratio. 1-to-1 is enough for making syrup. I'm giving it a stir, so I'll dilute some sugar already, and raspberries will start to give its flavor to the water. And what I'll do now, I will boil everything. I'm not going to boil it. Actually, I'm going to get it to the point of boiling temperature, and I'll turn off. It will be really enough to extract the flavor from raspberry and definitely to dissolve sugar. Sugar will dissolve in even faster. Okay, it's boiling. For the time, I'll be making another syrup, and this time I'll be making rosemary syrup. So it's herb ingredient. And as I mentioned before, you technically just need to make a quite strong, not too strong tea, because it might get bitter. Like if you put too much tea in your cup, at least it happens with me, it becomes bitter, and that's not very good. So I'm putting like 2 sprigs of rosemary. I'm taking out of the steam. I'm putting inside the pot. I believe it will be definitely enough, and I'll do the same. I'll be using 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water. 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water. Mix everything before heating, or you can put it on a heater and start mixing, doesn't matter. And putting it on the stove and heating to boiling temperature. Both of our syrups today are boiling. Through the time, I just want to say you that be open and experiment. You can even try to make syrup with colder water, for example with herbs, because I haven't tried that a lot myself, but I heard that when you make a tea with a colder water, it even gets more flavor out of the tea. Just you have to keep it longer, and then you will still have to dissolve sugar into that tea. But experiment, try different experiments, and if somebody of you has experience with that, so please let me know in the comments below. Alright, our raspberry syrup is ready. It's boiling, I mean started to boil, it's enough. Sugar is already dissolved, and now I will leave all of this substance for half an hour, actually for half an hour or for an hour, just to cool down. Until it will cool down, it will get everything what I need to get from raspberries, all the flavor. So just leave it until it will cool down, and then we'll have to bottle it. And rosemary syrup is also getting to the boiling point. Couple more minutes and we will be done with these 2 syrups. So technically you can make any syrup with this method. You take berries, you muddle them, you add sugar, you add water, and you have a syrup. Just don't boil, get it to the boiling point, and that's it. With herbs, strong tea with sugar, a lot of sugar I mean, compared to regular tea what you would drink, and it's done. If it's for example like grenadine or like some fruits, okay, you can make apple syrup. You can just juice apples, put sugar, dissolve, put it on a heater just to dissolve the sugar, and have apple syrup. Or you can make pineapple syrup. You can do it in 2 ways. You can juice pineapple, add sugar, and have a pineapple syrup from pineapple juice, or you can make it in different way. You can cut pineapple in small pieces. You can make sugar syrup, or actually boil that pineapple in sugar syrup and then leave it for 1-2 days to infuse. Rosemary is very intense flavor, but it's very nice. Okay, some people might not like it, and that's understandable, but who doesn't hate rosemary, that will really like the cocktail with rosemary flavor. It's boiling, so I'm turning it off. You see, nothing difficult, boiling like a tea. I'm turning it off. I'm covering it because I want to extract all the flavors really good. And this is same. I'm leaving it for a couple of hours to infuse, because the raspberries is actually easier, because raspberries give their flavor, or berries give their flavor very easy. Herbs, yeah, they give it also very easy, but if you want to infuse better, you have to keep a bit longer. So I'll cover so it will cool down longer, and until the time it will cool down, it will be done. Couple more hours, and I'll show you how to bottle the syrups as well. 1.5 hours passed, and our syrup is already cool, and now we can strain it and bottle. I'll be using a fine strainer, or you can use a cheesecloth if you have, but for these syrups I believe fine strainer is enough. Of course, I'll taste it at first. It's rosemary syrup. Yep, very good. Sweet with rosemary flavor. And I'll be straining it like that. Very easy with herbs. They stay. And the syrup is strained. Now you can bottle it to any jar you have. I have like that, any bottle, something, and put a label and put it in the fridge. I know in some of my previous videos I said that sugar is like a preservative and you don't really need to put it in the fridge, but I forgot that 1 year ago I was living in different country which is more cooler and there I was keeping my syrups out of the fridge all the time and they never got bad. But here in Miami it's much hotter and some of my syrups went bad, and I was like thinking, how is that? But then yeah, it's the temperature, it's different. So keep them in the fridge, it will be more safer. And now the same with raspberry syrup. It will be a bit more difficult because there is much more to strain off, and let's taste it first. Very nice. These very good raspberries. This time not always such lucky with berries. And that's it. Raspberry syrup is strained as well, with nice red, sweet, very good flavor, but it depends on berries, I guess, in which part of the world, in which time of the year, and so on. And you bottle it as well, and put a label just to know if you have a lot of syrup, so you need to distinguish them somehow. And put it in a fridge. It's better, it's more safer way. Regular sugar syrup actually I don't keep in the fridge even in Miami, it doesn't get bad, so this is okay. But when you put something addition, so keep it in the fridge. I take my words out from my previous videos. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you found it informative, knowledgeable, and I hope now you will know everything what you need to know and to make any syrup what you would like. If you have some ideas or doubts, questions, so just please let me in the comments below. Ask the question about any syrup you would like to make and I will answer it, and even maybe I'll try to make a video if it will be some more complicated syrup or some more complicated tasks. So always I'm open to your questions, always I'm open to share my knowledge with you, and in return I ask you just to support me and subscribe my channel. Please do it. It really helps me a lot. Like this video, share with your friends who are also passionate about creating things and deconstructing things and knowing how to make things, so they can discover many more here in my channel already, and in the future I will be making many more interesting stuff. I already have a plan of doing a lot of interesting things, but everything comes time to time. So subscribe and stay tuned, and we will discover a lot of interesting things together. I love you very much and see you in next video.